Welcome back to FM Story. We're back for season 9 of The Glory Hunter. We're still with Real Madrid. We're chasing that Copa del Rey that we didn't win last season. We've had a reasonably quiet transfer window, so hopefully we can pick up that Copa del Rey this season. We do have a couple of big league games coming up very early in the season. We've got Atletico in our second game. We've got Barcelona before the end of September. So without further ado, let's get into the action. So as we said, we're at the start of season 9, and as you can see, we're starting the season away from home at Real Betis. In terms of the transfers, there was some early work done in that Ruben Neves left at the end of his contract. Jan Bisek, who went to Saudi Arabia, and Afonso Moreira and Malo Gusto, who were both out on loan last season, went away to Man City. And we also sent some young players out on loan. In terms of the incomings, we started with quite a few young players from Spain. So firstly, Alfred, who's a right winger who signed from Villarreal, who's 18 years old. Marcos, who's a central midfielder, defensive midfielder, can also play on the left at a push. And we signed him for 2,500. Now, he looks a hell of a player for 2,500. And again, he's actually only 16 as well. So certainly gone for some young players here. Facundo Simon, we signed from Levante. He's now gone out on loan to Osasuna for the season. Again, only 18, Australian international, and just looks like he could be a real talent for the future. And then Aita Bravo, centre forward, come winger, signed from Alaves. He's gone out on loan to Troyes for the season. Now, obviously, these players, hopefully, we're not going to be at Real Madrid any more than this season. But they are players that we may look to take wherever we go in the future, depending on their development. And then we splashed a bit of cash once we got into July and into early August. So firstly, we went back to Man City to sign a player that we signed for Man City in Xavi Simons. Can basically play in the number 10 role, can play in the centre midfield, can push, play the defensive midfield role, can play wide right, can play wide left, and at a push can play if we're playing a centre forward as well. And then with Bisek having gone, we wanted another centre half just to make sure we had at least 4 quality centre halves in the squad. We went to Belgium. We signed Marco Russo, Belgian under 21 international from Club Bruges, just to add a bit of depth there. There was no point in wanting someone who was going to be a first team starter because none of them were going to get in the team ahead of Scalvini and Diamande unless one of those was injured or suspended. Tactically, I think we're going to stick with the formation that we had last season. It seemed to work. Obviously, if we get off to a bad start this season, we may look to change that, but certainly that's done us a pretty decent job so far. And looking at the season preview, our odds have shortened. We've become bigger favourites as the summer's gone on. We do only have 6 of the Media Dream 11 this season, but we know that doesn't really count for an awful lot. And as we said, we've got some big games coming up. So we start with Betis, then we've got Atletico, then we've got Athletic Club, who were the only team that beat us last season. Then we've got Sevilla, we've got a localish derby against Vallecano, and we've got Barcelona before the end of September. So we definitely have a challenging start to the season, but hopefully we can continue on where we were last season in the league. Oh, this is the side we've picked for the derby against Atletico. It's pretty much our strongest available team. It's the same team that we picked for the first day of the season, which we won 4-1 away at Betis. Atletico had a great day on the first day of the season. They won 4-0. So it's going to be a big early season test of our credentials. Right, Arda Güler with a corner, back to Xavi Simons, back to Arda Güler. It's tapped in by Jude Bellingham, but Güler was offside from the corner, I think, when it came back to him from Xavi Simons. And yeah, he was. Oh, he's well offside in the end as well. That would have been the perfect start to the game, though. All right, you and Andre with the throw. Vinicius Jr. back to Scalvini. You and Andre in to Camavinga. Arda Güler turns. Hakimi down the right to Sula. He squares it. Arda Güler with a tap in. And shortly after, we had a disallowed goal that was very, very similar. We've opened the scoring through Arda Güler. Just Arda Güler drifted infield. Hakimi then sent it down the line for Sula, who got right to the goal line, pulls it across. Keeper didn't get there. Arda Güler taps it into an empty net. Hakimi with a throw. Bellingham goes back to Mamardashvili. Scalvini finds Hakimi on the right. He's driving forward. Goes back to Sula. Diamande now very advanced. Scalvini going forward himself. Camavinga chips it over the top for Arda Güler, and the keeper turns it behind for a corner. It's a lovely ball by Camavinga, that one. And Bellingham to take the corner from the left. In towards the near post, towards Diamande. It's headed clear. Sula, though, turns, pulls it back, gets it back in the box, squares it to no one, and it's cleared. And Ewan Andre gives the ball away down the left-hand side, and they clear it. And João Gomez to Vermeeren. He gives it away to Ewan Andre. Vinicius Jr. onto Xavi Simons making the run. Takes it wide, back to Vinicius Jr. Onto his right foot. Bends it into the top corner. And that's 2-0 after less than 20 minutes. Just kept the ball alive, and then the edge of the area, no one closed him down, and just bends it into that corner. Right, a throw for them. We've lost the ball, and they've played around us a bit, but they've not really come forward that much. Vermeeren with a flick in midfield. Pavlovic. We're keeping them in front of us and not letting them turn us, but we're not getting really close to actually winning the ball back. Well, Vinicius Jr. there gets interceptions. Xavi Simons to Arda Güler. Look to move it on for Sula, but straight to their defender. And now they're in behind on the right. Molina's cross. Samuel Marodian scores. And they've pulled a goal back. Just in the end, it was a good cross, good run. We should have defended it better. And there we are, half-time, 2-1 up. We've dominated that, but we've let them have a foothold of chance of it getting back into the game. Right, we sent the same team out to start the second half. Arda Güler out to Hakimi from the kick-off. Matthias Sula back to Diamande. Arda Güler plays in Xavi Simons, cuts in on his right foot, and that is the perfect start to the second half. Less than 20 seconds on the clock. Xavi Simons has restored the 2-goal advantage, and we're back to 3-1 up. To Diamande into Arda Güler, takes a touch, plays it in behind the fullback. Xavi Simons made that run, cuts inside the defender, centre half, and in off the post. Scalvini to Camavinga. Scalvini again, now driving forward in the centre of the pitch. Arda Güler takes a great touch out to Diamande, going round the outside. Looks to play it into Arda Güler, who goes down. It looks like we might have been given a penalty, but I think that's a bit soft. And the penalty's been awarded. And it's going to be Arda Güler to step up to take it. Sends the keeper the wrong way, fires it right into the bottom corner, and that's 4-1. Just drills it right into the corner. Keeper went the wrong way anyway. And we've got a 3-goal advantage. Right, free kick on the edge of the box for them. João Felix to take it. Gets it over the wall, off, comes back off the crossbar, and then he puts the rebound over the top. And there we go, full time. First Madrid derby of the season out of the way, and a comfortable 4-1 victory, and really puts a marker down for the season. So we've made it towards the end of September. We've got our last game in September coming up, which is the home Clásico against Barcelona. We did say at the start of the season that we had a challenging start to the season on paper with the fixtures we had. It actually got more challenging when you see the opening Champions League fixtures. And with the exception of one game that went to pot from the start, the season's actually not gone too badly. So obviously, as we said, we'd beaten Betis 4-1 on the opening day of the season, and then we saw the 4-1 victory over Atletico. We then went into a game against Athletic Club, who were the only team to beat us last season. We had Camavinga sent off after a minute. From the resulting free kick, it bounced about us in the box and they scored. We then had Scalvini sent off in the 17th minute. We pulled a goal back to an own goal to make it 1-1. And then just before the hour, they went 2-1 up. We did push forward to try and grab an equaliser. I think we were basically playing with two at the back at that point. And unfortunately, Xavi Simons picked up a knock, which has kept him out since then. So we ended up losing that game 2-1. We then had a home game against Sevilla, and we really weren't great in the first half. We were a lot better in the second half. You and Andre popped up with 2 goals, Jude Bellingham with the other for a 3-0 victory. And then, because of how the performance against Athletic Club went and how the performance against Sevilla went, we went away from playing without the central striker, with the shadow striker. So we've gone to a more normal 4-3-3 because Eduardo is a goal scorer. Every time he comes into the team, he scores, and he paid the faith back in the game against Rayo Vallecano, where he got a first half hat trick. Vinicius got a couple of goals, and Enzon Lobaton got the other one. And then the first of the Champions League games at home against Man City. First half was pretty even. Second half, we just took our chances. Rodrigo, Diamande, Vinicius Jr. for a 3-0 victory. We then went away to Alaves, and again, we weren't great in the first half, and we needed you and Andre to pop up big in the second half. He got a goal, Valverde got a goal, and saw us get a 2-0 victory there. And then the second game in the league phase of the Champions League was our second game against Atletico this season. We're currently beating them by an average of 3 goals a game, because having beaten them 4-1 in the league, we beat them 3-0 in the Champions League. It did help that they had Theo Hernandez sent off after 3 minutes. Obviously, as far as the Champions League is concerned, it is very early on, but we are one of only 4 teams with a 100% record. Us, Barcelona, Marseille, and Galatasaray are the teams that have got 2 wins from 2 games. And then as far as the league is concerned, we are top on goal difference from Osasuna. We've got 5 wins, 15 points. And again, we are dominating the player stats. Arda Güler and Vinicius Jr. in particular. And we've kept 3 clean sheets in 6 games. So we're pretty solid at the back. It was just that game against Athletic Club where we had 2 players sent off in 17 minutes that has kind of cost us that 100% record there. But now the focus turns to the game against Barcelona, and we do have some injury issues. We're missing Vinicius Jr., Samuel Ricci, and Xavi Simons. Rodrigo is doubtful as well. As far as they're concerned, it looks like they've got a pretty full squad available. It's only Frankie de Jong that's doubtful. So this one could be a big test of our squad depth, particularly in those attacking and midfield areas. But hopefully we can still come away with 3 points. So this is the side we've ended up with for the game against Barcelona. It is pretty much as close to our strongest lineup as we can go. We're obviously missing Xavi Simon, so we've got Valverde and Bellingham in the centre of midfield. We're missing Vinicius Junior, so Sula's playing off the left. And otherwise, it's probably what we would have picked for this game. Rodrigo did fail a fitness test, so he's not available either. And we've got a pretty young, largely a pretty young bench as well. So hopefully the starting lineup can do something. Barcelona haven't had the best of starts this season. They've only got 8 points from 6 games. They've won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. So hopefully we can add another defeat to that. All right, so as you see, we've gone back to the actual 4-3-3. They're playing the 4-3-3 as well. There's very, very little happening early on in this game. Ewan Andre flies into a tackle there, but it's come to Lamine Yamal. Bellingham takes it off him. Camavinga wide looking for Goulet. He's beaten in the air. Ansu Fati's in. I think he was offside, or at least I hope he was offside there, because he looked a long way behind our defensive line. And yeah, it's been disallowed. Balde wins the header. Arana plays it, and yeah, he was well offside. Centre defenders have done pretty well there. Right, Inaki Peña with a goal kick for them. Araujo gives it straight to Eduardo, basically. Sula to Bellingham. Valverde from the edge of the D puts it in the bottom corner and puts us 1-0 up. Just Eduardo reacted well to the pass, got there before the midfielder. Sula pulls it across to Bellingham, who helps it on, and Valverde hits it first time past the keeper. Right, Araujo with a free kick to them into Gavi, but again, he's been caught on the ball, Bellingham, but it's come back to them. But Sula had the ball basically passed to him. Ewan Andre to Bellingham, now breaking into the box. Pulls it back, and there's Valverde again. 2 goals in this game, 2 assists for Bellingham, 2 goals for Valverde on his left foot. And that's us 2-0 up in less than half an hour. Ewan Andre down the left just slides it forward for Bellingham, who goes into the box, gets to the byline, picks out Valverde near the penalty spot, and he fires it high past the keeper. And that is exactly what we didn't want to go along with all of that. Arda Güler is now coming off injured. Because of the Güler injury, we've moved Eduardo out to the right, and we've brought Lucas Fontana, a young player, on up front. The media have labelled him as next Gabriel Batistuta, so there's not much pressure on him there. A header from Eduardo just flips the top of the bar and goes over. Ewan Andre with a throw. Sula back to him. Camavinga finds Fontana, and he looks like he just snatched at it a touch, and it goes over for a goal kick. And there we are, half time, 2-0 up. We've been pretty comfortable and pretty much in command through that first half. Obviously, the injury for losing Arda Güler to go with the other injuries we've got is not great. Thankfully, after this game, we've got our international break coming up, so hopefully most of them will be back by the time that's finished. Right, we've sent the same team out that finished the first half to start the second half. Right, free kick for them, Balde to take it. Into Pedri. Voskamp across to Araujo. Gavi, Pedri, Ansu Fati's through. And Mamardashvili stayed big, and it goes behind for a corner. Gavi to take it. Goes short to Lamine Yamal, who's gone down. I thought he was going to send Bellingham off there for a second. Like Scalvini to Diamande. Hakimi on the right. Diamande finds Eduardo into Valverde. Back to Hakimi. Valverde now in the box. Going for his hat-trick. The keeper turns it behind for a corner. And Valverde trots across to take it. Bends it in. Big header from Scalvini. Eventually it comes back to Lucas Fontana. And that is absolutely smashed that home. So the corner from Valverde's aiming for Scalvini at the back. He gets a run on it. The keeper makes a good save. Diamande just helps it back. And Fontana smashes it past Pena for 3-0. Free kick. Sula finds Fontana. And that one just bent wide of the near post. Right, we made some changes to get some fresh legs on just to see the game out. Araujo into Gavi in midfield. Wide to Ferran Torres. It comes back to Ferran Torres. Valverde's fouled him. He's about to get a second yellow card. He's got 2 goals, 2 bookings, and he's off. And there we go, full time. In the end, a pretty comfortable 3-0 victory, despite losing Ardagula, despite Valverde being sent off. We've done what was needed of us, and we go into the international break on a high. And there we are, the end of another episode. Season 9 has started reasonably well. As we said at the start of the episode, we had on paper a pretty tough start to the season. Obviously, we had that one defeat against Athletic Club, who were the only team that beat us last season. But I mean, I don't know how seriously to take that. Bearing in mind we were down to 9 men after 17 minutes. But we've beaten Barcelona in the league, we've beaten Atletico in the league and in the Champions League. We're top of the table with 6 wins from 7 in the league. We've won both of our Champions League games so far, including that victory over Man City as well. So things are going well. On paper, we have a much better next couple of months in terms of the league and the Champions League. So hopefully we can just keep this run of form going, pile on the points in the league before we come to have to concentrate on Copa del Rey again. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.